Good evening and welcome to Bramall Lane, Steel City Derby time. It's Sheffield United against Sheffield Wednesday in the Professional Development League. The under-23s, Matt Young with you here on the gantry alongside the former Sheffield United defender Kevin Gage. Doesn't matter what level, does it, Kevin? It's a Steel City Derby. We're all looking forward to this one.
Yes, certainly are. Yeah, great to see a fair few fans in, I would say. I think they're talking about maybe 1,000 fans, 500, 1,000 fans. Ground filling up nicely, or this stand anyway. But yeah, nice atmosphere. Pitch looks fantastic, as always, of course. And you're quite right about a game against Sheffield United. A game against Sheffield Wednesday, for Sheffield United fans and players is obviously always special.
We were here last time for the 23s where Sheffield United played Coventry City. Blades winning 2-1 against Coventry, top of the league Coventry. That's the only game they've lost this season. United are second. Things are starting to put along nicely for Paul Heckingbottom's side now.
Well, clearly, yeah, obviously a decent side with some very, very good little players, and it's all about development, isn't it? Yes, we're second in the league, but and it's nice to be up there and win games, but it's all about getting players attuned and developed and experienced, obviously, to get in that first team squad. And from what we saw against Coventry, and hopefully what we'll see tonight as well, you know, there's going to be a fair few pushing, not for the squad, maybe not this season, a bit too early, but certainly in the next year or so. Obviously, some players go out on loan as well. We've seen this week, Lapata and Brunt have been out on loan. That's going to help their development, of course. So it's all good at the moment, all good for Sheffield United.
Well, as you can see, the two sides have exited the tunnel here at Bramall Lane, and we're running through the two teams. First of all, Wednesday, and there's sprinkling of first-team experience on the Wednesday side, some names that you may be familiar with. Number 6, Massimo Luongo, coming back from injury, Australian international. He's in Wednesday's midfield. George Byers, a close-season signing. He's a former Swansea player. And we've got one or two others in there you may know. Kaori Adedoyin is a first-team player, formerly of Everton. So Wednesday have Jake Hall in goal, Kwame Boateng, Pablo Guedes, David Agbonta-Homa, the captain, Dec Thompson, Massimo Luongo, Vasil Zotas is a player to watch, George Byers, Kaori Adedoyin, Will Truman and Batada Al-Jahadmi. At the bench, Alex Bonington, Jay Glover, Tom Wilson, Legio Davison and Josh Ashman. Sheffield United then, probably the standout name for the 23s is Regan Slater. Marcus Dewhurst is the goalkeeper. Will be a back four, Joe Starbuck at right back, Nixon Gomez at left back, and the two centre-halves, Kyron Gordon and Kamal Grant. The midfield, it'll be interesting to see how this is configured. Harrison Neal, who's on loan at Kettering, is back to anchor that midfield. Frankie Maguire, the captain, will play wide, and then I'm not sure whether Slater will play on the other side. Andre Brooks in the middle. And the front two we think is going to be Angelo Capello and Antoine Hackford. Hackford, of course, a player we know from that little cameo against Crystal Palace. The bench, Harvey Cullinan, Jordan Amissa, the keeper, Charlie Stanilan, Siddiq Peck and Hassan Iyari. Jonathan Masqueray is the referee. And Sheffield United in the traditional red and white will get this game underway. Wednesday, of course, in their home colours of blue and white striped shirts, both sides with black shorts, and United about to get this one underway. A clear idea of the formations as the opening minutes go by. Decent number inside the lane, about 750, we're told, have come down for this one on a wet and cold Monday evening. United sending one into the Wednesday half, and that's the left-back Paulo Agues, who clears downfield. Looks like Regan Slater, where the position, Kevin, is going to be left-sided. Yeah,
he's a position he knows quite well, to be honest. Anywhere across the midfield he can play, can't he? So standard kind of 4-4-2 for Sheffield United, isn't it? A couple of players who we'll be looking out for, because Joe Starbuck really impressed me at right back in the game against Coventry. Well, both full-backs actually.
Wednesday going to throw down this right-hand side through Zotas, who I'm told is one of the players that are taking one or two admiring glances in the Wednesday ranks. The 23s side, Wednesday bottom of the league at the moment, but their under-18s team is top. And with a sprinkling of 18s and some first teamers, so I'd expect this to be a decent Wednesday side tonight. Kyron Gordon heading clear for Sheffield United. Now Capello. Cut out by Thompson. Capello onto the second ball very quickly. Got support from Hackford as well. Capello going himself. Good challenge in the end by Luongo.
Yeah, just his decision making. He could have slid that ball through to Hackford, couldn't he? The opportunity was there. He just delayed and delayed and delayed, and the Wednesday defender got a foot in. But good opportunity for Sheffield United early on. Would have been a good start, wouldn't it?
Gomez was trained with the first team a couple of times this season.
And as I say, against the Coventry game, Gomez and Starbuck really shone out for me. The two very good fullbacks.
Well, he's gone on loan to Bradford Park Avenue alongside Ollie Arblaster. Although they have taken a couple of hammerings, Bradford Park Avenue, in recent weeks. But good experience. A number of players, 23s and 18s level, have gone out to get some first team experience in recent weeks. Clearance made there by Thompson for Wednesday. Here's Brooks, back in the starting 11 for Sheffield United. Good low cross just behind Capello though, and then a bit of confusion there as Boateng rifles the clearance against his own man. Wednesday goalkeeper is Jack Hall. Looking for Zotos. Boateng with the throw, just in front of the Sheffield United league coach, Paul Heckingbottom. Here's Hackford now for the Blades. Hackford hacked down there by George Byers, and a free kick to Sheffield United in a central position.
He looks lively, Hackford, doesn't he? Always willing to run at the defenders, always looking to be slid through. Obviously first team experience. Looking to push on next season, one would think. Hopefully with Sheffield United.
Brooks to the far side. Here is Joe Starbuck, former Grimsby man. It's kept in initially. Slater's done really well there. Crossed by Capello, claimed by Hall. But United have made the brighter start. There's a real tussle there, and the referee's happy for it to continue. Gomez getting the foot in. Now Brooks to bring it clear for the Blades. Gives it away though. Will Truman there winning it back for Wednesday. Looking to hit Adedoyin here. Challenged by Slater. First corner of the evening goes to Sheffield Wednesday. What do you make of the boots there of Adedoyin, Wednesday's number 9?
I'm saying nothing. I have a little campaign going on Twitter. Hashtag proper boots. Star reporter James Shield and Danny Hall, they're in on this as well. It's a good hashtag actually. It makes for good reading if you click through it.
Disappointing corner there as Al Jahadmi sails it behind for a goal kick. What would have happened if you'd have turned up in a pair of them back in the 90s under Dave Bassett?
Well, I'm wondering, has he got odd boots on? Has he got an orange pair and one orange and one green pair? Or boot, I should say. They're not pair, clearly. No, it's a bit strange, isn't it?
Marcus Dewhurst is the United goalkeeper. The Blades alternate the keepers, blessed with some great stoppers at the lane at the moment. Jordan Amissa is on the bench, who played really well in that game against Coventry here last month. Gomez doing the defending up against Zotos. Hackford jumps. Boateng, good sliding challenge by Slater. Hackford takes it on for United. Trying to maraud his way towards goal. Starbuck cleaning up.
Good intensity to the game though early on, isn't it? It's a local derby as well, which just all adds to the mix.
Grant, didn't quite get that one right. How often would I'm not suggesting you played for the reserves that often, Kevin, but how often would you come up against Wednesday back in your day in probably the Northern Intermediate League back then?
Well, it happened, yeah, but I can absolutely say that there always, as I say, was a bit more needle on the game, even back then, for reserve games, for youth games, not just for against Sheffield Wednesday, but all through your career. You know, I was at Aston Villa and stuff when we played Birmingham. That's our local derby. If it was the first team, if it was the Simod Cup, if you remember that, and various competitions, so that there always a bit more spice to these games.
Remember the Steel City Cup in pre-season, that certainly had a lot of needle about it.
I remember that well, played in that one, yeah.
So to remember Andy Scott celebrating on a night similar to this and diving full length towards the corner flag and nearly sliding into the advertising board until it was that wet. Wednesday have a throw down the right here. Boateng wants it back. Foot in by Harrison Neal. Good to see Harrison Neal for Sheffield United. Has been at Kettering on loan. Firm fixture last season for the 23s. Anchors that midfield. Here he is again. And two players leaving it there, Brooks and Neal. Can Wednesday profit? They've worked it down the left-hand side. Good challenge there coming in by Frankie Maguire, the Sheffield United skipper. Brooks up to Hackford. Starbuck first time.
The ball was cut out there, but you could see what Starbuck was trying to do, because Brooks had made a great run forward, actually.
Boateng with a low cross, dealt with by Starbuck. Tussle here as Capello tries to pick up possession for Sheffield United. That's good play by Luongo. Luongo again. He's had his injury troubles since joining Sheffield Wednesday. He's still managed a couple of first-team appearances this season. Certainly a player you'd expect to have a big impact in League One if they can get him fit. I think the plan is to get him an hour tonight. Here comes Hackford for Sheffield United. A little bit isolated, but Maguire's there and Starbuck is galloping forward as well. Maguire, good feet, finds Starbuck, takes it in his stride, three in the box for United here. Deep towards Slater, first time, what a finish! Regan Slater, what about that? Brilliant work down the right-hand side by Starbuck, and then Slater, first time into the corner. You're not going to see much better than that at this level. 9 minutes gone, it's Blades 1, Wednesday 0.
I mean, wow, what a finish that is. We are right behind that, and we can absolutely tell 100% he meant that, exactly what he tried to do there. Just a controlled side foot volley into the far corner. Absolutely superb finish. And a great move as well down the right hand side. Really, really good play. Super starts to the game for Blades.
Well, Regan Slater is certainly not an unknown quantity to Sheffield United fans. Had a great loan spell at Hull last season, and remember in that game against Coventry last month, he scored in that game, but remember that bit of improvisation when he tried to chip the keeper and hit the crossbar. He's got so much ability in his locker.
It was great footwork on the right, wasn't it? Him and Starbuck working it well. I actually thought he'd overhit the cross a bit, Starbuck, to be honest. Whether he was looking for that far post person, I'm not sure, but wow, what a finish that was.
Blades lead then. That was Gomez trying to make progress down the left-hand side. Byers did well in the end. It's for offside, but I think Adedoyin is on. And Adedoyin has had a go himself, and well, it was a decent connection. I think it was always going over the bar, but we almost had another wonder strike at the other end there.
Well, if anything, that goal should help the Blades settle down a bit, give them a little bit more confidence, and I think we can safely say we think they're the better side. The league position would suggest that. So let's hope we can make our superior ability, if that's the word, count.
Free kick to Sheffield Wednesday. Thompson takes it short. His fellow central defender, Agbonatoma. One of several challenging names for us to master this evening. Adedoyin. Little slip there by Grant, but United recover, and that's typical Harrison Neal piece of play there. Just the ugly bits really well. And he can play a little bit as well. Had a great season last season, the 23s won the domestic league before losing that overall playoff final. Boateng eventually into Adedoyin, foot in by Maguire, 3 in red and white, just swamped around the Wednesday number 9 there. Kyron Gordon, who we've seen in the first team this season, a couple of League Cup appearances. Fires one forward. It'll come towards Capello, takes it well in his chest, good ball out to the left-hand side. Gomez forward now for United. Marauding into a central position. Still going Nixon Gomez, wanted the free kick, but Luongo uses experience, and Wednesday have a counter-attack on here with Al Jahadmi. Down the left-hand side, Aguayas, challenged by Starbuck. Gets the second ball too. The Wednesday man felt that, as Kyron Gordon completes the clearance.
Close to being a foul, I think, that one, to be honest. Slightly missed time, but he got away with it.
Here come United again, Frankie Maguire. I'm not sure if he was looking for Slater or Capello. I don't think Capello knew either. In the end, he's left in, it's gone behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, just miscommunication by the two Blades lads there. Both left it for the other person, didn't they?
A reminder, United's first team, not that you need a reminder, are in action tomorrow night against Nottingham Forest, live on SUTV. 4-camera coverage. See the website for details. Nixon Gomez into Brooks, Neal, Kyron Gordon. Tried to fire it into Hackford.
It's the first time I've seen Harrison Neal in midfield there. And he does look very neat and tidy, doesn't he? All action, up and down. See him tracking back there, making sure he's in the right place.
I've been a big fan of Harrison Neal, and Ali Arblaster has come into that kind of role this season and done really well too. Ali Arblaster has actually gone out on loan to Bradford Park Avenue as well.
So how long was Neal at Kettering for on loan?
I'm not sure actually, I think he might still be there, but the rules allow that youngsters can actually still play in the 23s.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Whether we'll see Zach Brunt do that, I doubt it, and Casper Lapata, because obviously Southend are full-time. That's probably the reason why we've got Nixon Gomez playing as well tonight.
Well, that's a really good rule, isn't it? Allowing them to come back and continue their development here, but get really good experience in, and obviously, you know, I'm going to call it men's football, you know what I mean, senior, hardened professionals, and some of those non-league teams are actually very, very good indeed.
Of course, the likes of Kettering not being full-time, they don't train every week, so the lads will still train at Bramall Lane, well, at Shirecliffe, I should say, on the days when they're not with those clubs.
Yeah, it's perfect. Really good arrangement. Can only help the players, can't it?
I think what has been impressive about Sheffield United under 23s is losing so many good players from last season. They've still maintained those excellent high standards. The crop coming in behind from the 18s appears to be very strong as well.
It's another good foot in from Neal there. So important just to break up play in that midfield. Of course, lots of teams have these defensive midfielders now, don't they? Just sit in there and just screen the back four. But they're not just defensive players. They're not negative in any way. It's just got to be able to pass the ball and play football as well. But It helps you if you're just a little bit aggressive and you don't mind a tackle or two, and you can read the interceptions. It makes such a difference.
Wednesday in possession. The one go with a little touch. Opportunity to spread it maybe, but they've gone down the centre instead. That layoff has fallen kindly though to Neil. Love to see the regain stats on Harrison Neal when he plays. He always seems to be in the right place at the right time to pick it up for United. Gomez into the channel. Hackford sets off. Keeper's made an early call. Gets there. It's good decisive goalkeeping by Jack Hall. Good opportunity for Hackford tonight. He's missed a few games of injury at the start of the season, and the likes of Jebison, of course, going out on loan. Let's open the door maybe. Angelo Capello has been good this season, been an ever-present, but a chance really for Anton Hackford to stamp his mark. Of course, still qualifies at under-18s level. Seen a little bit of Will Lancashire, you may have heard of this season, scored a few goals. Another one who's operating in the under-18s at the moment. Wednesday enjoying a bit of possession. Bontahoma out to Thompson. Sotos was calling for it down the right, cuts in field instead, and Truman wearing the number 10 jersey. Foot in by Maguire. Neil calling for it, here he is, threads the ball into Capello, who did well to hold up despite the attentions of Agbontahoma, and he gets the free kick as well. Kamal Grant. It's opened up for him. This is a great run here from the centre half, and he almost slid it through there to Brooks. A little deflection was an important one. Takes it through to the goalkeeper.
It was adventurous, wasn't it? There was no stopping him. I mean, all the Blades defenders here, we're looking at them in front of us in the row of four, in the back four, all very athletic, physically strong, aren't they? When they do get on a roll, you know, they can move forward, they can go at pace as well. We saw Gomez earlier marauding down this left. He chose to cut inside and unfortunately ran into trouble, but if he went on the outside, you'd fancy him to beat anybody down this right-hand side for pace and power and strength.
Of course, Casper Lapata has been a regular as well. He's obviously gone to Southend now on loan. Last year, Sam Graham was part of a back three. He's joined Rochdale permanently. So there's been some good competition in those defensive areas last couple of years for Sheffield United. Approaching the 20-minute mark, Blades leading by a 1-0. Well, that was a mistake and almost a costly one. It might still be a costly one. Brooks has picked it up. Slater down the left-hand side. 4 in the box for United. Gomez is joining the attack as well. And Slater has given away a free kick.
Bit sloppy, wasn't it? Once again, caught in two minds. He saw Gomez powering up the left and thought about playing him on the overlap, and then changed his mind. Got a bit mixed up with his feet. No worries.
Nice touch by Kyron Gordon. Brooks in the centre circle. He's had some good moments here at Bramall Lane last season, scoring a couple of times for the under-23s, Andre Brooks. Another player with a lot of potential. Okay, maybe it's just lost that little bit of energy that it did at the start.
Yeah, it's just gone a bit dead, hasn't it? Plenty of space opening up though. Either side can get hold of the ball and knock it around at the moment. Not an awful lot of that many challenges going in, considering it's a derby.
United have worked this really well into Brooks. Slater calling for it. Here he is, edge of the penalty area. Brooks again. Gomez has got forward. He's got round his man there. He's done really well, the full-back. That was a good sliding challenge by Leongo, but didn't look like he was going anywhere for a second, and all of a sudden found a little bit of skill to beat his man.
The beauty of having such long legs to be able to keep that ball in play. He just extended one of those limbs and managed to drag it back from going out. Slightly more luck than judgment, but he got there in the end.
Beautifully worked by Slater. Gomes with a cross into the near post. It's going to be a corner. Not that throwing routine. You said it so often for the first team over the years, and it's filtered down to the 23s.
That throw-on routine has been going for, as you rightly say, 5 or 6 seasons, and it's amazing how many times it works, doesn't it? Teams just switch off completely. We get in time and time again. We see it in the first team every other week virtually. And Chris Wilder's reign, it was at that every single game, 2 or 3 times a game. Incredible.
Wonder where this is going. A lot of players in the 6-yard area.
You don't see that very often in football, do you? Wow. 18 players in the 6-yard box.
Headed clear from Maguire's centre. He might get another chance here. Frankie Maguire. It's blocked, kept alive. Maguire's going for it again. Good defending in the end by Wednesday. Starbuck couldn't get the better of Leongo, and I think he's been penalised for a high boot there. Free kick. Considering the amount of bodies in there, you'd say Wednesday did pretty well to keep the ball away from the goal on that occasion.
I think probably too many bodies in there. You can have too many, can't you? It's just overloading and just going to get blocked off, and not many paths for the ball to get through there.
Kyron Gordon, here is Joe Starbuck, 19 new appearances for Grimsby Town before he made the move to Bramall Lane. Right at the start of this season. That's a nice flick, and Truman can bring it forward for Wednesday. Brooks trying to get back to him. Did enough, and then Gordon made the clearance.
Good defensive play there. That was I was on about early on with Neil doing it, but Brooks doing exactly the same, just tracking back, making sure his runner didn't get too far away from him, and got a vital foot in the end.
Wednesday looking to run it out from the back here. Into midfield it goes now, and Byers. Will Truman fights this near side, and Boateng. Ball, good challenge as well. Comes back to a blue and white shirt though. Byers asking a lot of Leongo, gets there. Kind of tell Leongo is coming back from an injury, can't you? He's the plan was to get him a half at least here. Former Swindon man. Nice work by Neil. Crossfield ball by Gomez, looks a peach. Maguire controls, Starbuck trying to get in on the act. United winning all the second balls. Here's Gomez. Good ball to the left-hand side. Hackford looks up. 3 in the box there, blocked by Thompson. Hackford will settle for the throw.
Well, he'll settle for the throw, but he didn't need to, did he? He could have attacked his man there. He's got the ball on his feet on the edge of the box. One defender in his way. Just have a go at him. Have a go at him. Go on the outside, get a low cross in, or cut in on your right foot and have a blast at goal. The easy option, I think, with a cross. Should be a bit more direct, and there's the throw-on movement again.
Gomez crossed with his weaker foot, cleared. Maybe a little too casual from Kyron Gordon, but he gets another opportunity. Joe Starbuck taking no chances, rolls it back to Marcus Dewhurst, so far untroubled in the Sheffield United goal. Maguire Seen him on the first team bench a few times last season, Frankie Maguire.
I mean, just about halfway through the first half, and the Blades certainly seem to have more threat and attacking sense, don't they? Knocking the ball around quite comfortably and confidently. Wednesday, as you rightly say, Matt, you know, not troubling our back four really at all at the moment.
Attacking down the right-hand side. Strong defending again by Gomez. Capello now for United. Good intelligent ball for Hackford. A little bit isolated, needs to wait for support. He's got it with Capello, and Neil's breaking forward too. There's Brooks coming into the fray, but it's given away.
He did well to hold the ball up. As you said, not a lot of support, but you expect better from him there, to be honest. International, young international player. Really good quality, and he needs to show it in those areas. That's where you're looking for him to do something a little bit special and to show his quality. Can't just give it away willy-nilly like that, just waste possession.
Wednesday will win the throw on the far side. Talked about the many players that Sheffield United are missing because they're out on loan. A couple I've not mentioned. Femi Siriki at Beerschot in Belgium and Harry Boyes at Solihull. The right and left wing backs from last season, two key players. Of course, changing formation now this season with United going to a 4 at the back to help compensate for that loss. Two more up-and-coming youngsters there to keep an eye on.
It's a big under-23 squad, isn't it, when they're all back? It's nearly as big as the first team squad.
Zotos with a cross. And Adoinian pulled it down initially there. Slater, good ball into Capello. Not the greatest of layoff, but it does find Slater. I don't think that was his intended target. And a bit off the ball stuff between Slater and Boateng there. Free kick to Wednesday, meanwhile. A little bit sloppy from Sheffield United, and the referee's going to have a little chat with Regan Slater and Kwame Boateng.
Decent crowd in. Enjoying it, no doubt. What else would you be doing on a cold, wet Monday night?
Well, we're here as well, so I mean, it's free for season ticket holders, so why not? It's only £3 if you're not a season ticket holder, and under the rules of the 23s, you will get games at Bramall Lane. I've had a couple this season. United normally play at a Technique Stadium at Chesterfield, which is not too far either. Here comes this Wednesday free kick, swung in towards the back post. Adoinian will pick it up on the far side. Looking to take on Starbuck here. Liongo makes the break. Liongo into the penalty area. That was a good challenge. Almost got round Frankie Maguire. Wednesday have a corner.
Yeah, did well to get a foot in the end. Slightly concerned for a second or two that he was going to let the man get through, but just about got a toe on it.
Probably the best bit of play that Wednesday have put together in the opening 29.5 minutes, and they've got a corner kick from it. Both centre halves are up from the back. Harrison Neal, right place, right time again to head clear for Sheffield United. Danger not over just yet though, Wednesday coming again. There was an opportunity there to put the ball in the box. It's led off instead to Al Jahadmi. Out wide it goes. Comfortable for Neal to head clear on the edge of the box. Byers, and again. Good little spell this for Sheffield Wednesday. Seen a bit more of the ball now as well. Agbontohoma.
Still not troubling us really, are they? Not getting right round the back of us.
Liongo into Adoinian. Another good sliding challenge, this time by Grant, but it will be another Wednesday corner.
Top class defensive tackle there. Again, tall, athletic, rangy player using all of his long limbs to wrap his foot round and get that challenge in. Had to time that properly as well, because obviously in the penalty area, mistimed that, you're giving away penalties.
Al Jahadmi has left it for Byers. So another in-swinging corner for United to deal with here. Plenty of movement in the penalty area, plenty of shirt pulling as well. And it goes, headed clear by Grant to the edge of the box. Great dummy. Left-footed strike by Longo. It's a terrific block by Kyron Gordon, who threw himself in front of the ball. And maybe there's a counter-attack on here as Hackford makes that his. Just couldn't get it on the second attempt. Was appealing for a free kick, which he was never going to get. But what about that block from Kyron Gordon?
Wonderful block. For all the world, we thought he was going to be a strike on goal, and from nowhere, he's thrown himself at the Wednesday player there.
Just a little wake-up call for Sheffield United, who have dominated proceedings, but last 5 minutes or so, Wednesday have shown a few signs of coming back into this. Free kick on the far side.
Absolutely top-class defending. That's what you want from your defenders, absolute desire to get your body in the way of the ball or something in the way of the ball. Just making sure that shot, or trying to ensure that shot doesn't go anywhere on target. Really good to see.
Lovely play by Brooks. Maguire made the run in front of him, and he's run into a bit of an isolated area. But he's kept the ball, and he's found Harrison Neal. The switch is on if he can find Regan Slater. Slater cuts it back. No one there in red and white. Good regain again, though, by Grant. Neal, another intelligent ball out to the left. Is he offside? I think he is. The flag has been raised against Regan Slater. That's a shame. Free kick.
Andre Brooks is interesting, isn't he? It kind of glides around the pitch, doesn't he? Just economy of movement. You don't think he's quick, but as I say, he just drags the ball with him, and again, he's another good physical athlete, good physical specimen. Deceptively quick, I'd imagine.
Yeah, he really came to the fore at the back end of last season, playing above his level, really, in the 23s. Has a good eye for a goal. Box-to-box midfielder.
Just glides around. It's good to watch.
Starbuck. A little heavy there as Maguire set off for the run. Blades through on halfway. Brooks coming towards the ball now. Perhaps could have got a bit more on the layoff, and Wednesday get a free kick. Just gone a little bit scrappy at times from a Sheffield United point of view. Thompson. Agbon to Homer. Gets it back. Wednesday skipper. Run down the left-hand side by Aguas. Another Wednesday throw. Just over 10 minutes ago to the break.
That man Neal again, isn't it? Breaking stuff up.
And a crude challenge, to say the least, by Adedoyin.
Just screening his centre halves there from the throw. And as soon as the Wednesday number 9 got the ball, he's at him from the front, trying to nick the ball back off him, and that time did it. Exactly what he's in there to do.
How do you become good at that position? Is it just a case of, you know, a bit of football intelligence and where to put yourself and anticipation,
I think
maybe?
a lot of it must come naturally. I don't think you can make someone be a defensive midfielder or have that instinct to get your foot in or make a tackle or track a runner. I think you can coach people all you like, but when you're out on the pitch and you have to make a split-second decision on whether to do it or not, or whether to make that tackle or track that run or be defensively minded, I think it's in your nature.
Brooks for United. Here's Neal again. Brooks once more.
He reminds me a bit of a Roy Keane. That's quite a startling comparison, really, isn't he? But he's also got his shirt tucked in.
I was going to mention that.
With his shorts as well.
He's the only player out there with his shirt tucked in. I like that.
Very old-fashioned, and he's got black boots as well. I love him. He's my favourite player.
Wednesday have worked that nicely.
Just knocks the ball around, gives it simply when he needs to. Doesn't try anything too outrageous. Miscontrolled that and yet won it back with his desire to get the tackle in.
Here's Gomez marauding forward again. He's tough to stop once he gets in full flight. Nixon Gomez, he's still going low, just bouncing off challenges. Still going. Brilliant run. Can he finish it? No, he got right through. It's like an assault course as he barged his way past several in blue and white. Now Maguire. Maguire's cross. Diving header clear by Thompson. United throw on the far side.
Well, that is Gomez all over, isn't it? I mean, he's such a handful, isn't he? Really good athlete, as I say, the long legs. I mean, lost the ball 3 or 4 times, won it back the same number, and eventually got a very weak shot in. Didn't quite connect at all, but causing havoc when he gets forward.
Starbucks cross. Now Wednesday have got a counter on here. Luongo. He got 3 in front of him in this attack. Al Jahadmi just slowed it down a little bit. Maybe the chance has gone there as the Blades get everyone behind the ball.
It's very pedestrian, isn't it, from Wednesday at the moment? It has been all game, to be honest. They don't have an awful lot of creativity or the desire to get men forward.
Oh, that's terrible from the goalkeeper. He's giving it straight to Capello, tries to chip him. You could see it was on. The direction, though, from Angelo Capello was just slightly off. Wednesday almost architects of their own downfall there.
I've no idea what the keeper's doing there. It wasn't even close to being a pass, was it, or a clearance? Straight to Capello. Actually did exactly the right thing. He had more time than he thought as well. I think he could have taken another touch maybe and made sure of that clip for goal.
Dewhurst's kick. He's been a spectator so far. Slater in. Another good challenge by Neil. Capello over the top. Hackford will give chase here for United. The keeper's done well. He's read those situations well, as Jack called 2 or 3 times now. He's judged his sprints off his 6-yard box to perfection. Maybe his distribution probably needs looking at, but certainly read the balls in behind pretty well. Gomez with the throw. Brooks brings it down. Gomez again off on another run. Nice pass from Maguire coming to this left-hand side. Infield for Slater. Difficult one to control. Thompson brings it clear. Straight though to Grant. Tidied up nicely by Brooks.
Been very solid, haven't they? 2 centre halves for Sheffield United. Not letting anything get past them.
Lovely ball by Kyron Gordon. Gomez stopped this time. And now they've got a platform for a counter here Wednesday. They've overrun it again though. That was a chance for Zotas to run at the United back line.
But great covering from Gordon. Saw the danger. Saw his other centre half was out the action actually, and he needed to come across. Read it perfectly and just cleared the danger. No nonsense defending.
Here's Luongo, intelligent ball in behind. Truman with the low cross, which is stabbed behind by Grant at the near post. Best bit of play, you'd say, from Wednesday so far.
By far the best bit of play from Wednesday. But once again, let's focus on Sheffield United's defending, because from nowhere, stretched out a long leg, and brilliant defender from Kieran Grant there.
Wednesday have had a lot of corners in this first half, and Byers will deliver from this near side this time. This will be an outswinger. Chance here, and a routine save for Marcus Dewhurst. First time he's been called into action, and Bontahoma it was with the header. just like to see United get that second goal, wouldn't you? Just to, which their dominance would possibly deserve. Because at 1-0, especially the amount of corners Wednesday have won, you just never know. Lovely crossfield ball again. Grant this time. Starbuck just couldn't quite keep it in play. We've seen Gordon do it a couple of times. They can both play, the centre halves.
Yep. I think that's one of the beauties of the modern game is defenders aren't just defenders anymore. They have to be able to pass the ball out from the back and play little balls into midfield and out wide. All-round footballers, and of course that's the way they're coached at academies these days from a very young age. So it can only be good for the game, can't it?
Absolutely, as Boateng plays a ball just behind Truman, but it will come to the number 10 eventually. Dadoyin onto his favoured left boot. Byers, a bit of room to the left-hand side here for Wednesday. Chance to cross, not the greatest of balls in. Harrison Neal there again for United. 2.5 minutes to the break. 1-0 the Blades lead. Slater with the challenge. Might break for Liongo. Liongo into the area. Try to shift it onto his left. Good challenge coming in, an important one. Hackfield with the hold-up play on halfway. Wins the free kick. Does well for the Blades.
Yeah, Hatford did well, but once again I'm going to focus on Blades centre halves because really important leg just got in the way, just hooked it away from the centre forward, right deep in the penalty area. And that man Neil was on hand again to complete the clearance. It's really good defending. Wednesday just coming back into it in the last few minutes of this first half, but United up to the task, standing their ground and getting some good little tackles in and some interceptions.
Yeah, Wednesday have got better as the half has worn on, but as you mentioned, United's defending impeccable so far. Maybe Paul Heckingbottom, if he was to be picky, would like to see perhaps United go up another gear after getting that first goal and really stamp their authority on the game. But I think he'll settle for the scoreline as it is. 90 seconds plus stoppage time remaining until the break. Neil under pressure, that was a foul on him by Truman, free kick to the Blades. Gomez, wonderful first time ball into the feet of Capello. That layoff didn't find its intended target. Neil across, wins the throw. Looks for Capello, hooked away. Maguire onto the loose ball. 30 seconds plus added time remaining. Gordon picks out another wonderful crossfield ball. It's Brooks at the byline for United. Just waiting for it, wasn't he, to cross it first time. Perhaps he could have taken a touch.
Yeah, I think Heckingbottom will be delighted. Well, I think delighted is not the right word. He'll be pleased, adequately pleased, I think, with this half.
Yeah.
They've been the better side overall without being completely dominant. We've certainly had more attacking threat than Sheffield Wednesday, apart from the last couple of minute flurries there. But it's been a decent first half.
Yeah, no added time. There's been no stoppages at all, really. United leading by a goal to nil, and what a goal it was as well. Regan Slater with a terrific first-time volley into the bottom corner. I think United, good value for the half-time lead. Whilst perhaps we've said that United didn't go on and add to that, I think it's worth highlighting some of the defending. The back four have been excellent, especially the two centre-halves I know you've been really impressed with.
Yeah, the whole back four have done okay, but specifically the two centre-halves have been absolutely rock solid. And when Wednesday had that little flurry, didn't they, with 5 minutes to go, They've made some important interceptions and got some important blocks in. Not in any real danger, of course. It wasn't last-ditch defending or anything like that, but it just kind of stopped the attacks at source and made sure the balls didn't get across into the penalty area and right in front of the goal, which would have caused some real danger. But solid, really solid at the back from Sheffield United.
Thanks, Kevin. It's half-time. Sheffield United 1, Sheffield Wednesday 0. We're going to have a quick break. We'll be back with you in around about 10 minutes' time for the second half here on SUTV. Welcome back to Bramall Lane. Second half of Sheffield United and Sheffield Wednesday is imminent. Wednesday making a couple of changes at half-time. Matt Young with you alongside the former Sheffield United defender Kevin Gage, anticipating a couple of changes for Wednesday, and probably not too surprised they want to make a change. They did finish the half a little stronger, but perhaps a little bit of energy and enthusiasm for Wednesday in the second half, you think?
Well, Sheffield United were clearly the best side in the first half, certainly going forward. Wednesday weren't really in the game much at all, were they? They had a little flurry towards the end of that first half. They'll need to improve their play slightly, I would feel. And that's not just a Sheffield United bias, by the way. I think that's a fair assessment of the first half.
Well, those changes have actually happened, because you can see number 15 on the park for Wednesday, Jay Glover. I think Tom Wilson, 16, also came on, but we didn't have the board go up, so I'll have to confirm that in a moment. Well, I'll run you through the United team meanwhile. No changes for the Blades. Marcus Dewhurst is the goalkeeper. That back four which played solo in the first 45 minutes. Joe Starbuck at right back. Nixon Goins at left back. The two centre halves, Karen Gordon and Kamal Grant. Then Harrison Neal anchoring the midfield alongside Andre Brooks. The wingers were Maguire down the right, Frankie Maguire, Regan Slater the goal scorer down the left, and Capello and Hackford through the middle for the Blades, who lead thanks to a wonderful volley from Regan Slater after 10 minutes. United have a free kick here.
Great angle for a free kick this. Perfect for a left footer, just to bend it into that area.
Capello's deep cross.
A little bit overhit. Just want to be dropping that around just inside that penalty spot. If I was to get onto, just a little bit overhit there.
I think that might just stay in play. It does for Adadoyin. Gives it straight to Regan Slater though. My eyes did not deceive me. There is 16 Tom Wilson for Sheffield Wednesday. So they did make a couple of changes, the Owls. That's a good looking ball and he's onside here. Truman for Wednesday. Three in the box in blue and white, still with Truman. And still, did he hang on to it too long? Dewhurst read the cross and plucked it at the near post before being fouled as he tried to get United on the counter, and a yellow card has been dished out as well.
Well, he did hang on to it just a little bit too long, but that's because he had very few options in the centre, didn't he? You could see him looking up and trying to slide a ball across. But no Wednesday players were making a break in there quick enough anyway, and once again Sheffield United defenders got back.
Well, Lyongo is one of those players who's gone off. We did speculate at the start how long he'd get. It was a half. His return from injury. Looks like the number 5, Deck Thompson, has been pushed forward for Wednesday into midfield. Wednesday got a throw down the right-hand side. Have they gone to a back three here, Sheffield Wednesday, potentially? United's throw. Flick on by Brooks, forward by Thompson. One there for Glover to chase. Slater doing the defending for United, doing a good job as well. Adadoyin trying to outmuscle Grant, goes down, not looking for a penalty in fairness. Good strength to manoeuvre Gomez off the ball, and a little bit of skill there to stick it through the left back's legs. In goes across the near post and Dewhurst takes it on the bounce.
Well, that you heard me say wow, but fantastic piece of skill and right in the far corner there. I'd like to see that on replay just to find out what he actually did.
Karen Gordon for United. Here's Joe Starbuck, Harrison Neal. Gordon goes long, aims it towards Hackford. Might come for Brooks. Goes down on the floor. Managed to try and scoop it into the direction of Capello. Wednesday clear. Gordon into the channel. A little bit awkward. Flagging up anyway for offside. Glove of the defender. Sorry, it was Wilson, I should say, who was heading clear.
Game hasn't quite settled down yet. Second half, just a little bit scrappy. Just looking for both teams to just a bit more composure, just a bit more calm and collected on the ball.
Truman did well there, but Gordon on the cover. We said that once or twice tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to make another comparison now. He's a bit of a Des Walker-ish, isn't he? The way he looks similar, and he's an athlete, and the way he comes across and slides that ball out of play and clears that ball out of play. Very, very good defensive player.
Des Walker scored a very famous goal on this ground, which we all enjoyed, for Nottingham Forest, who are Sheffield United opponents tomorrow night in the first team. It's live on SUTV.
Wednesday started second half very well, actually. Just beginning to pop it around a bit and showing a little bit more ability and skill, aren't they?
They definitely improved as the first half went on.
Yeah.
Maybe United just need to reaffirm their dominance. Not suggesting they're in trouble in any way, shape or form, but they've just let Wednesday back into this one a little bit. Bonta-Homa to the left-hand side. It's a little bit loose. Just about kept in by Al-Jihadmi. Starbuck's going to be disappointed. That's a Wednesday throw. It's Lee Bullen down there, who was a former Wednesday player. Has had a few stints in the caretaker manager's job as well. Starbuck for up and under clearance. Very scrappy start to the second half. And Wednesday have a player down here, breaking play. Maybe just an opportunity, Kevin, just to get your thoughts about Saturday and coming into tomorrow's game against Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, well, it's good to get games so quickly after the disappointing result we had. There's been a lot of talk on social media and in the press about the performance Saturday, and I actually thought we played really, really well for a long period of that game, and we just kind of fell apart in the last 20 minutes or so. Obviously after the goal, I think the goal really, really shook us, but I genuinely feel our performance in that first half was as good as we've played in patches this season. And then that 10-minute spell immediately after half-time, where we did everything but score and bombarded their goal, and I genuinely feel we could have had at least a couple of goals there, and I think had we scored, I think we would have run out maybe 3-4-0 winners. Seems strange to say when we've lost 1-0, but I don't think it was as bad as the scoreline suggested, and certainly we no need to get to panic at this stage of the season, and I think the manager said as much this afternoon in the press conference, hasn't he?
Yeah, 2 away games in the week at Forest and Blackburn. Meanwhile, we're back underway here at Bramall Lane, where United's under 23s lead by a goal to nil. A volley from Regan Slater early doors. Been a bit of a pedestrian start to the second half. United subs Incidentally, Harvey Cullinan judged the miss of the goalkeeper, Charlie Staniland, Sidipeck and Hassan Ayari. One or two good attacking options there for Paul Heckingbottom. Very much a young Sheffield United bench. That might run through here. Wednesday almost in. Some defending to do here for Sheffield United as Al Jihadmi threatened to get in behind. Deflection on the cross has made it awkward. It's gone all the way through. I'm not sure. Marcus Dewhurst got a touch there, but it must have been a nick off a red and white jersey because it's been given as a corner kick.
Well, the deflection caused all sorts of problems, didn't it? Deflected low, spinning ball across that 6-yard box. I think the keeper was right to come free because he wasn't sure who was going to get on the end of it. And then at the end of the move, everybody missed it and it went out for a corner.
Glover with the corner for Wednesday. Chipped in towards the penalty spot area. Wilson got his head onto it, then there was a high boot there. Well, that's good to see. When he went down, I feared the worst, but straight back up again. Frankie Maguire, I think it was.
Well, I'm not sure what the referee's thinking of here. I mean, there's no issue whatsoever, is there? The ball was there to go for. Maybe it was a high foot, but it's not intentional. I don't know why he's speaking to the Wednesday player. No need to whatsoever. No one's making a fuss. Frankie Maguire's got straight up off the floor, not making a big deal about it at all.
Boateng's got a booking for it.
It's really, really strange. No need for that whatsoever, is there?
Another quirk of the modern day rules that, you know, the high boot, it's getting more and more attention, isn't it?
Well,
like you said, I mean, he's got to go for it, surely.
I doubt Maguire's even bothered at all. It doesn't look whether he even made contact. Dear, oh dear.
Here is Frankie Maguire, lifts one into the right channel. Hackford will chase for Sheffield United. Good hold-up play from Hackford, a good ball into Maguire. Nice feet from Frankie Maguire into the penalty area. This is brilliant from Frankie Maguire! Brilliant from the Blade skipper. United double their advantage. And another terrific individual goal. This time it's Maguire with a run inside the penalty area, guides it into the bottom right corner. Another slick finish. And it's Sheffield United 2, Sheffield Wednesday 0.
Well, we thought the first goal was good. Well, this one's even better. Certainly nothing wrong with him. He certainly didn't get a whack on the head, did he, 5 seconds earlier? Fantastic individual ability. Shifting the ball from one foot to the other, driving forward, cutting inside, and then having the presence of mind. He didn't just slash that at the goal. He's kind of placed that with his left foot into the far corner. Fantastic ability, and I think that's just what the second half needed.
Well, he's right-footed, isn't he, by trade? But he's shown he can use his left there, Frankie Maguire. That was a brilliant run. And he'd just been hit on the head 2 minutes ago.
Exactly, yeah. But a fantastic slalom run into the box, you know. Very difficult to stop as a defender because, you know, a missed time tackling, you're giving away a penalty there.
Well, I'm not sure what's happened here. I don't think Hackford's committed a foul. I just think maybe Agbonza Home has just got his foot caught in the turf there as he's gone down. He's certainly in pain. So we've got another break in play, but you were absolutely right there. The game desperately needed something at the start of the second half, and Frankie Maguire has provided that for Sheffield United. Long way back for Wednesday now.
Well, it was a good little bit of play on the right-hand side here. A little bit of a give and go and an interchange of passing, and then Frankie Maguire saw a bit of space open up for him and thought, hey, why not? You know, it's just sometimes you get on a roll and on one of those kind of slalom runs and you just see the next defender in front of you and the ball just falls right for you and your confidence is up and you just keep going and going and going. As I say, it opened up beautifully for him and he had the presence of mind not just slash at it, clearly confident with his left foot and a controlled finish to the far corner. I mean, he won't score many better goals in that.
Well, we've had a real treat in terms of the standard of goals. Slater's volley was first class, but in terms of an individual run, you'll not see better than that than Frankie Maguire because he had to show great feet to weave in and out a couple of half-hearted challenges, it might be said. Meanwhile, Wednesday's skipper is still on the ground here.
Yeah, it looks as if he's turned his ankle or done something. He did look in a bit of pain, and there was no real contact from Hackford. He's not to blame in any way, shape or form, but it just looks like he's, as you say, mate, might have caught his ankle in the turf or gone over on it. He's not happy with the linesman. Perhaps he thinks it was a foul. No official's given anything, so
Just looked like a good, solid coming together with Anton Hackford. Stabbed forward by Starbuck. Brooks will give chase. Terrible clearance. He's got away with it, the goalkeeper, Jack Hall. Game has certainly livened up now in this second half. Maguire has been one of United's ever present so far this season in the 23s. Clearly he's got some ability, as we've just seen, but he was on the first team bench on numerous occasions last season. Got a pro deal as well. Gomez should shepherd that one out, and does.
well, he's got bags of technical ability, hasn't he? Obviously showing that in the first half, involved in both the goals. As I say, you won't see a better goal scored than that on this pitch, probably this season. Individual ability there, although Njai he's come close a couple of times with similar type slalom, mazy runs. So obviously he's got the character and the attitude to match, otherwise he wouldn't have got a professional contract. So, you know, the world's sky's the limit for someone with that ability and that attitude.
Bundle over there was Capello, and I think Bonta Homer's head might have gone a little bit as he made that challenge. Still reeling and limping, has to be said, from that coming together with Hackford. It was just easy for Starbuck to pick out Maguire. It's giving it away. That was a firm challenge as well from Capello. Kyron Gordon heads forward. Here's Harrison Neal. United just moving through the gears a little bit now. Neal picks it up again for the Blades. Maguire, space for Starbuck. Plenty to Emma in the box. United have a throw in.
Just a little bit of needle creeping in, isn't it, the last minute or so?
It's good, isn't it? Needed it.
Yeah. Proper derby. It's taken 60 odd minutes, but we've got there in the end.
Yeah, the pace has gone up a little bit. Another thumping challenge there as Brooks went in to win it for United. Applause from Paul Heckingbottom on the edge of his technical area. Thompson forward. Hackford. Picked up by Glover. Played out to the far side, and Zotos. Gomez in. More strong play from the left back of Sheffield United. Takes the decision. He could have just let it go, really. He got the ball.
Yeah, Blades just need to settle it down and impose their game. Need to 2-0 up, we just need to pop the ball about now. Use this big Sheffield United pitch, this big Bramall Lane pitch.
Flicked on by Capello. Hackford gives chase. Gordon made that his. Capello wins another one in the air. Brooks under pressure. Good sliding challenge by Brooks. Wednesday could have broke there. It's definitely more competitive. The first 10 minutes of the second half were a little bit pedestrian, but the two teams are warming to the task now. United have that 2-goal cushion. second goal just came at a good time, didn't it? Because Wednesday were just starting to show one or two signs of causing problems for United's defence.
Yeah, they had a little spell at the end of the first half, and then just started the second half a bit better than us. It's taken the wind out of them a bit, hasn't it? But as I say, Sheffield United should just be able to not keep the ball for the sake of it, but just calm possession down a bit and just knock the ball about and just enjoy the occasion. They're 2-0 up. They're playing against the local rivals. They're going to be way high in the league. And they're playing at Bramall Lane. I mean, it doesn't get any better, does it?
It's good experience for the youngsters to have this opportunity to play at the first team ground. Although Chesterfield's Technique Stadium is a pretty good venue for the 23 level. Here is Brooks.
It's a very good venue, Chesterfield. I know it very well. Watched quite a few games there. But Sheffield United players, you want to play at Bramall Lane, don't you?
Brooks did really well to keep that in play. The enthusiasm of the Sheffield United players as Maguire hunts possession. Oh, I thought he slipped there, but the linesman was well positioned, better than we were, and he's given a free kick.
Well, he may be better positioned, but just about everybody in the stadium could sense that he slipped. Got away with one there, because Maguire would have just been onto that, wouldn't he?
Well, his confidence levels are through the roof, and why wouldn't they be after that wonderful goal?
I often think assistant referees are too quick to raise their flag. They want to get involved, they want to give fouls, don't they? It's not really their remit because the referee's only 20 yards away, sometimes a lot closer. Linesmen's no, they're not linesmen anymore, are they? Assistant referees just stick to doing the lines. Even if the ball goes out of play, and watch for the offsides. You don't need to get involved with fouls.
Gomez, Sackford has set off for this one. Wilson across for Wednesday. Some good kick downfield by the goalkeeper, and some nice control there by Adedoyin before he was felled by Neil. Wednesday take a quick free kick with Thompson. And he's given it away to Capello. Neil keeps possession under a bit of pressure. Certainly looks like Sheffield United have reimposed their dominance now. Starbuck. Hackford will give chase. It's an awkward one for the goalkeeper. I don't think he'd thank Tom Wilson for that back pass.
He's actually dealt with it quite well this time, hasn't he? He's had his moments, the keeper, but he's not taking any chances there.
Starbuck's caught in possession here, and he's took a professional foul there for his team. So Wednesday wants to take a free kick there, but the referee has denied him that opportunity because he wants to book Joe Starbuck. Could he not just book him? I mean, I'm not complaining, by the way, but could he not have let them take the quick free kick and then book him afterwards?
Well, the answer to that question is yes, he could have done quite easily, but he's chosen to stamp his authority on the game and has booked Starbuck. Rightly, actually, because it was a caught in possession and a blatant pull of the shirt, but yeah, he could have waited a couple of minutes to the end of that attack.
Goes down as a good booking, I think, because Wednesday had a good opportunity to break there, and Wednesday are readying Leojo Davidson, which will be their third change. No real signs from Paul Heckingbottom of making any changes. Wednesday have a problem here with Wilson, who's just receiving some treatment, and I think either he's coming off or he's coming off of some further physiotherapy, holding his left knee. I think he's okay. Meanwhile, there's a free kick here for Wednesday. Glover with it. Wilson's back on the park. Maguire for United, a chance to clear. Wins the throw. I think Davidson was being readied as a potential replacement for Wilson. He's just been handed the green bib and sent out to warm up, so maybe Wednesday not making that change now. We've just over 20 minutes remaining. Little glimpse down to my left, I see Hassan Ayari warming up for Sheffield United. He top scored for the under-18s last season. Another player with a lot of potential. And we'll see a little bit of him later on. Good ball by Starbuck. Hackford running the channels for United. Starbuck with a mazy run now. Stopped by Glover. Gomez in for United. Brooks. Strong play again by Brooks. Gomez has continued his run forward. Here he is. Oh, that cross has beaten everyone. Starbuck will keep it in though. Neil, Maguire, Slater. Can United get a third and kill this game off? Gomez denied. Grant will clear. That's a foul, is it? It is by Brooks.
Pity, because that's a good little bit of play from Sheffield United there. Kept the ball well. Just around the Sheffield Wednesday penalty area there. Gomez got through on the left-hand side. I have to say, not the best cross in the world. Looking to slide that along that 6-yard line, hoping someone to get on the end of it, but just completely overhit it to the far post.
Starbuck fell. As a former fullback yourself, Kevin, what do you make of United's fullbacks, Starbuck and Gomez tonight?
To be honest, Starbuck was better against Coventry. I don't think he's had quite as good a game this time round, but he's done nothing wrong. But I'd like to see him do a little bit more going forward. And Gomez, well, he's a handful, isn't he? We saw it in the first half. It's just marauding runs. It gets deflection as it ricochets, and he loses it. He wins it back with his long legs. He's a real handful going forward. Not with the most finesse, but it gets the job done.
Capello's free kick stabbed away. Yeah, Gomez played as part of the left-sided centre half in the back three last season to great effect. He's got a few goals as well.
Well, he's got the physical stature of centre half, isn't he? He's not too tall to be a left back. That's the wrong terminology, but he certainly could do a job as a central defender.
I think United are actually getting Hassan Ayari ready. Starbuck with his throw in for the Blades. Neil back to halfway. Lovely pass by Slater. Perfect weight on that one. Early cross by Gomez, headed away. Neil picks it up for United.
And how many times have you said that this evening? Neil picks it up for United, Neil with the interception, or Neil with the header. Seems to be a magnet for the ball, doesn't he? Always kind of in and around the right place at the right time.
It's been another composed performance by the Blades number 6. Here's Brooks. Starbuck makes a run down the right-hand side for the Blades. Starbuck cuts it back. Maguire. Still Maguire. Goes down. Might come for Hackford. Wednesday scramble it clear. The most convincing clearance, though. Unfortunately, Gomez can't control, although Wednesday have done their best to give it him back. He still might get it here. And eventually concedes the free kick.
Oh, the referee's been sucked into giving that, hasn't he? I don't think there was a lot wrong with that. Once again, Gomez just getting one of his long legs in the way and wrestling the ball clear. Not sure it was a foul, to be honest.
Right, Davison is definitely coming on now for Wednesday, and Ayari's been readied for United, getting some final instructions from Paul Heckingbottom. Arm around the shoulder of the Blades number 16. Another very busy player, Hassan Ayari. Saw a lot of him last season. Can play through the middle or just behind. Here's that Wednesday change first. Davidson, I think, has replaced Al Jahadmai. If Capello might be withdrawn here for United, it's going to be Hackford. Who seems a little reluctant to leave the pitch.
He's not very happy with that, is he? Which is fine. Doesn't want to come off the pitch. Obviously enjoying himself out there. His team are 2-0 up. Hasn't had a fantastic game, but he's worked hard enough, hasn't he? Run the channels
On the
okay.
channels, yeah. Definitely shown the enthusiasm, hasn't he?
Yeah, no problem. And just Heckingbottom just having a word with him there, explaining something to him.
I think it's his first start for the 23s this season. Was come off the bench recently. Oh, that's a mistake by the goalkeeper, and that's a third for Sheffield United. It's Angelo Capello. Surely that's game, set and match now. The goalkeeper caught out with the clearance, and Angelo Capello makes it Sheffield United 3, Sheffield Wednesday 0.
Well, he hasn't been the most secure goalkeeper all evening, has he, with his distribution, and that kind of sums it up. We see so much of that these days, don't we? It's not the best of back passes, but to be fair, the keeper's got to do much better than that. He can see somebody's closing him down. All he's got to do is shift it to the side or just kick it sideways. You don't have to just crash it at the centre forward as he's running in at you.
It's almost slipped, I think, as well as he's cleared it. But that's the enthusiasm that Capello has brought. He was very quickly in there, sensing an opportunity. Maguire's penalised. Just heard 1 or 2 cries from the supporters who were not happy with that decision from the referee. It's the beauty of the 23s game. You hear just about everything from the crowd. I don't think 3-0 flatters Sheffield United, does it, Kevin Gage? Do you think we deserve to be in front?
Maybe not 3-0. I don't think we've been 3-0 dominant. But we've looked the more dangerous going forward, I think, all game. Haven't created chance after chance after chance, you know, but we've certainly looked more the better side going forward, we'll say.
I think that second goal kind of flummoxed Wednesday a little bit.
Yeah. I have to say, Hassan Ayari's got a distinctive look, hasn't he? Socks around his ankles, a bit old school. Looks slightly dishevelled as well when he walks onto the pitch.
Shaggy hair.
Yeah.
Potentially a good description.
Nothing wrong with that look, of course, but certainly stands out from the modern identikit footballer.
Well, he's very busy, very much a front foot player. And hopefully we'll get to see that in the remaining 14 minutes. Meanwhile, Wednesday have an opportunity here. The flag's up for offside, but Dewhurst has caught the ball anyway. Nice little knee slide too. Grounds will be pleased with that. 13 minutes remaining. Can United add some more gloss to this 3-0 scoreline?
So would you say Ayari's best position is kind of off the centre forward, just floating around as a number 10?
I mean, as a front two, we'll hopefully get to see him a little bit. He can do that. But I think hopefully what you'll see is when out of possession, he'll be very quick to close down those centre halves of Sheffield Wednesday. And when he gets the ball, as you can see a little bit now, as he's sprinting towards the central defender. He's very much a positive player. He'll always look forward, want to get on the ball. See him now just pulling off the front a little bit into a bit of space.
Yeah, just trying to find a little bit of space. Very much like Ndiaye's been doing in the first team, and doing it extremely well, of course.
Very enthusiastic, Hassan Ayari. I seem to remember going to Ipswich for under-18s game last season, a quarter-final FA Cup game. And his enthusiasm got the better of him as he lunged into a challenge and earned himself a red card. Well, United got a player down here. Is that Brooks on the far side? Quite sure what happened, if I'm honest. I was following the ball. So a break in play. 11.5 minutes remain.
So where will this take the under-23s in the league table then? With this,
I think they're still
we're
second.
assuming this is going to be a victory.
Yeah, I think will move them within a point of Coventry. I think Coventry played a game more. Don't quote me on that. You'll have to have a quick check of the table again. But it's certainly a 4th straight win this for the 23s, if they can see it out.
Well, winning does become a habit, doesn't it?
Yeah, 2-0 win against Hull. If this stays the same, that'll be another clean sheet.
Yeah, and winning games breeds confidence for the players, of course. And as I said earlier in the broadcast, it's all about developing players, isn't it? It's not just about scraping wins or anything. You know, as long as the performance is there for the under-23s, and they're developing and looking to progress into the first team squad, then that's the main thing.
You've seen the 23s a few times now. Who's kind of stood out for you based on the last couple of performances that you've seen?
Well, my first view today of a couple of players, like Harrison Neal was really impressive in the centre of midfield there. We've spoken about him quite a bit this evening, just picking things up and making things happen, and nothing too spectacular, but just doing the little bits of dirty work in there, just getting his foot in and just being in and around and disrupting the Wednesday play. And he can pass the ball as well. He's not just in there as a destroyer. He can pass the ball and keep it moving. But I think the two centre halves have been outstanding this evening, which is strange to say because Wednesday haven't really been much of a threat. But that's probably because they've snuffed out everything. And then obviously with the goals we've scored, two wonderful bits of ability from Slater and from Frankie Maguire. I mean, Frankie Maguire, wow, that's a superb goal. So players like that have always got that individual brilliance or that technical ability to do things like that, and sometimes that just makes the difference between winning or losing games.
Brooks is back on his feet, as you can see, and taking the ball forward for Sheffield United. It's confirmation this would move United within a point of leaders Coventry, and the level on the amount of games, also close the gap on the goals as well. And bear in mind, Coventry have only lost once this season. That was to Sheffield United. Here come Wednesday. Starbuck there, right place at the right time to deny Davidson. He'll be desperately keen to keep this clean sheet, United. Might actually add a few more goals, and that's a foul. Probably a good foul from a Wednesday point of view as the Blades threatened a counter-attack. Maguire is the one who is downed. I think United are going to make another change. Going to make it yet because the free kick's taken quickly, and there's Ayari. Good feet by Maguire, draws the foul from Thompson. Gordon forward. Wilson bringing it clear. Truman now for Sheffield Wednesday. Foot in by Slater. United want to bring on Sidney Peck, who's done really well for the 18s this season. Scored a few goals. I think he came from Arsenal quite recently. Challenged by Gordon. And we're going to see a little bit of him. He's got 7 minutes to show us what he can do, by all accounts. This lad has got a bit of a future potentially.
Well, the very fact you've come from Arsenal suggests that you're a very, very good footballer.
Brooks is coming off. He's done some decent things tonight as well.
Yeah, it's covered a lot of ground, hasn't he? A good foil for Neil in there. He's the one who's been making the bursts forward. As I say, lots of energy, glides around the pitch.
United throw. Starbuck drills it forward. Is he given high boot, the referee?
He's a bit hot on the old high feet, isn't he?
Capello did really well to control that. To be fair.
Wonderful control. good to see Blades still full of running, aren't they? Capello up front there, you know, doing shuttles across that back line. 3-0 up, you know, 5 minutes to go or so, and still really willing, and the desire, enthusiasm to put the work in and close people down.
Since the second goal has really just been all about United. It's inspired them to go on and try and make it a notable scoreline. If they've got another goal in them or two, quite a statement in the Steel City derby. Exceptionally well organised. Paul Heckingbottom and his staff have done a terrific job, and when Paul Heckingbottom went up to first team level last season, United brought in Darren Curry and Graham Coughlin. They maintained those high standards. Notice Darren Curry has joined the staff at Southend United recently, and I'm sure that had a lot to do with Casper Lapata and Zach Brunt going there. United are going to bring on Charlie Staniland, who's featured only once for the 23s this season. He's another on the under-18s group. That was really nicely done. Neil.
This is what we wanted to see from the Blades now, 3-0 up, just popping the ball around beautifully.
Here's Ayari coming short. Now Peck with the strike from distance.
Bit ambitious.
Staniland then is going to come on. He'll get 3.5 minutes plus whatever's added on at the end of the 90. We've had a few stoppages actually in the second half, so we might get a decent little cameo here. I think Harrison Neal is going to collect the armband from Frankie Maguire, so that must mean the score of the Blades' second goal is being withdrawn. I'm sure you'll be seeing that goal on the Sheffield United social media channels over the next few days.
Yes, I'd like to see the replay of that. See exactly how many Maisie dribbled past. I reckon it was at least 3, potentially 4.
Don't know too much about Staniland. He's featured as a sub once for the 23s this season. He's been playing for the 18s. So a little opportunity for him to show what he can do.
And just a bit more experience, isn't it, playing at Bramall Lane in front of a decent crowd. So we'll enjoy his little cameo for 10 minutes or so, however long he gets. Always thinks a substitute, you know, don't just, he's playing on the left-hand side there, but don't just stay there. Just, you know, the game's over in 1-3-0, so get involved. Go and look for the ball. Go and get a few touches of the ball if possible.
Neil now wearing the captain's armband as he did for the majority of last season. Staniland. Actually, Peck, I should say, winning the free kick. Starbuck picks out Gomez there, but he couldn't control. Some pass from one side to the other. They don't mind the odd diag, do they? The Sheffield United back four, for the most part, it's come off.
Yeah, they're good enough technically to do it.
Thompson for Wednesday. Can they bag themselves a consolation with 1.5 minutes plus added time remaining? Sure, Sheffield United will be desperately keen to keep this clean sheet. Back up the one they got against Hull recently. It's surely gone out of play. Flag is raised. Goal kick to United. Dewar says, I'll make a save there. It's probably the hardest thing he's had to do all night.
Might see Ayari get a little bit of the ball. Hasn't really got on the ball yet, has he? Hasn't had any space or opportunity to show any ability he's got.
inside the final minute of this game. Been another very good night for Sheffield United. That's a lovely touch. Staniland for the Blades. Change of speed. Just ran out of room there, but certainly a bit of confidence there from the substitute.
Yeah, it was good to see, wasn't it? Showed a little bit of pace there. A bit unlucky, actually, just run out of pitch. Just a slightly heavy touch. Good positive run.
Gordon heading forward for United. Turned on by Neil. 1 minute. Referee obviously wants to get home early. We've had two stoppages for injuries. At least a minute each.
He's got a buster catch, hasn't he?
I'd like to see a little bit more, because I think potentially have another goal here for United. Well, Brooks was down for a good chunk of time. And
isn't it supposed to be 30 seconds per substitute, or is that just in the league?
Well, under the Wednesday centre half was on the deck for a good chunk of time as well after that challenge by Hackford. I think the referee is feeling a bit sorry for Sheffield Wednesday. Peck goes down. That's got to be a free kick. Will United get an opportunity to make it 4 here, maybe? Peck obviously just keen to keep possession. Well, that's the end of the minute anyway. Referee blows for full time. What a really good night for Sheffield United. They defeated Sheffield Wednesday by 3-0 and take the Steel City Derby spoils. An excellent performance by Paul Heckingbottom's side, and we've been treated to some very special goals. Regan Slater in the first half of the volley putting the Blades in front. After half-time, a wonderful individual effort by Frankie Maguire made it 2-0. And then a bit of gloss with the third as Angelo Capello blocked a clearance by Wednesday goalkeeper Jack Hall, and the ball rebounded into the net. It was a final score of United 3, Wednesday 0. Kevin Gage, you've seen the under-23s a few times now. They appear to be getting better and better with each game.
Yeah, I don't think it was a scintillating performance from Sheffield United this evening, but we certainly did what we had to do. We looked the better side, certainly in an attacking sense. We had more threat and more individual ability, really, which was proved with the 2 goals. And just generally a good, strong, solid performance. Very impressed with a few players, especially, as I mentioned earlier, 2 centre-halves. And then, as I say, we had the creative players to score the goals up front. So, yeah, looking a very good side, actually. Some good, promising youngsters coming through.
And the goals, well, they were right out of the top drawer, weren't they?
Well, the first one was all about the finish, wasn't it? The calm, controlled, volleyed finish was absolutely spot on. Did exactly what he was trying to do, just bent it into that far corner. And the second goal, well, wow, you know, a mazy dribble from Frankie Maguire, just going on and on and on as the defence kind of opened up for him. And just a wonderfully, another controlled finish to the far corner. Just 2 really, really good goals.
And doesn't matter what level, if you beat Sheffield Wednesday 3-0 and you're a Sheffield United player, it's a special night, isn't it? Especially here at Bramall Lane in front of a decent crowd.
It's always nice, isn't it? Yeah. You can see the players enjoyed it, you know, they're shaking hands with a few fans as they go off. And it's a great experience for the players, not just to play at Bramall Lane, but to get a good resounding victory over your neighbours. It gives you a little bit of bragging rights. It's not the be-all and end-all, is it? Beating Wednesday, you know, twice a season, but it certainly helps, doesn't it?
Well, thanks for your company tonight, Kevin. I know you'll be back tomorrow. Sheffield United face Nottingham Forest live on SUTV. Be sure to catch that. But from the team here, it's a very good night for the under-23s. It's finished here at Bramall Lane. Sheffield United 3, Sheffield Wednesday 0.